is 13 Action News Good Morning Las Vegas.
Right now on Good Morning Las Vegas, 8 people get sick from carbon monoxide poisoning. The reminder is to help keep you safe this season. Showdown on a Las Vegas golf course. Tiger Woods taking on Phil Mickelson. We take you out to the putting green. Plus, 'tis the season. Santa helps Opportunity Village light up the magical forest Christmas tree. Good Morning Las Vegas. I'm Tom George.
And I'm meteorologist Gina Cancelleri. What a nice day we have today. Great weather.
Yeah, 60s and almost December. It's great.
Right. A lot of sunshine out there. Barely a breeze at the moment, but as we head through the day, that's going to change. And so will the forecast as we move through the next couple of days. But let's get you through your Saturday. Temperature right now, 50 degrees and calm conditions. There's a look outside from our Valley View camera. Barely a cloud out there. Not expecting to see a whole lot of clouds today. What I think the big talker will be is how nice of a day it will be. Highs expected today, 66 degrees in Las Vegas, Prim 65 degrees, Anthem 64, Mount Charleston 49 degrees, and Laughlin the warm spot at 71. If you are traveling around the country today, there is rain in Chicago, 100% rain. Here's the forecast for the city's major hubs. Also in San Francisco at the moment, there's delays, most likely fog related. Weather not happening there at the moment. But here are expected weather delays. If you are traveling back from the Thanksgiving holiday, you are moving through the plains into the Great Lakes, you may see some delays there. Be sure to call ahead to your airline carrier to check and make sure of what's happening with your airplane. I do have your 7-day forecast. It's a nice one. It does include some big changes. I'll show you that within the hour. Tom?
Sounds good. Thanks, Gina. Well, breaking overnight, 2 people are in the hospital after they were shot. Now, this happened near Riley and Lone Mountain Road just before 4 this morning. Police tell us this may have been related to a house party in the area. Both of the victims have been taken into surgery. Right now, there are no suspects in custody. And 8 people are recovering after being overcome by carbon monoxide. Fire and Rescue says they were using a barbecue grill to keep warm inside their apartment. When help arrived, everyone was passed out on the ground. Children were also involved in this case. The CDC says carbon monoxide is responsible for more than 400 deaths in the U.S. every single year. But there are some simple ways you can keep yourself safe from this silent killer. Carbon monoxide detectors should be tested about once a week. The install dates should not be older than 7 to 10 years. And you should also check for appliances that burn fuel. If the furnace ever malfunctions, carbon monoxide could easily be spilling out, and a blocked chimney can also be a big problem. Well, now to a 13 Action News update. The power back on in Henderson this morning after close to 13,000 NV Energy customers spent their Thanksgiving night in the dark. NV Energy confirms it was just one rodent in the substation equipment that led to this huge outage. Well, moving on now to the winner-take-all showdown on a Vegas golf course between 2 of the biggest rivals in the game. It was Tiger versus Phil. Here's ABC's Adrian Bankert on the match.
Tiger versus Phil did not disappoint. It also didn't end on 18 holes. The sudden death match continued in the dark, with Mickelson finally winning the $9 million prize. At the exclusive Shadow Creek Golf Course in Las Vegas,
I don't really think too much about the stroke. I just kind of look at the target.
First of all, he just admitted he doesn't really think much.
Yes.
I met with them before the highly anticipated showdown.
Done. You see? He made that look pretty easy. Next.
And for the first time, Tiger and Phil are wearing microphones. Everything's uncensored.
Is that going to get in your head, Tiger?
Well, I have more mics around me at every single round I play in.
This match back and forth, reminiscent of their rounds at the Masters, Mickelson's triumph in 2004, Tiger's 2005 win, and Phil's rebound in 2006.
Yeah, he put the jacket on me, and I put the jacket on him.
So you guys were meant to be. This was meant to be.
What was ill-fated, the purchasing site for the event had a technical glitch, and organizers decided to stream the event online for free, causing some frustration for viewers who paid. But what a show! In the end, Mickelson dominates after an intensely close and exciting match.
Yeah, and of course the stakes were high. It was a $9 million prize there. Both Tiger and Phil will also be donating close to $800,000 to charity in between the 2 of them. And in true Vegas fashion, they also had a series of side bets. And in Alabama, the investigation continues after police shoot and kill a man who opened fire at a mall on Thanksgiving night. 21-year-old Amantic Bradford Jr. reportedly getting into a fight with another shopper, and that's when he started shooting, seriously hurting the other man and a 12-year-old girl. Brady Hopkins says he was inside that GNC store when those shots rang out.
As I was throwing away something out of the GNC store, I just started hearing gunshots. It was about 4 of them. I just ducked down, ran inside the GNC store, and it stopped for about 2 seconds, and then 4 or 5 more gunshots happened.
Well, pretty scary stuff, and a police officer working security that night confronted that gunman as he ran away, shooting and killing Bradford. And in Mexico, the mayor of Tijuana has declared a humanitarian crisis. The border city now asking the UN for help. They say they need aid to deal with the nearly 5,000 migrants who have arrived hoping to seek asylum here in the U.S. But President Trump doubling down, threatening a complete border shutdown that would mean potentially cutting off millions of dollars in trade.
Mexico will not be able to sell their cars into the United States, where they make so many cars at great benefit to them, not at great benefit to us, by the way.
More than 6,000 troops are slated to remain at the border through December 15th, and another deployment the Pentagon estimates could cost taxpayers up to $72 million. Well, a big night for Opportunity Village. Last night, the Magical Forest had its annual tree lighting ceremony. Chopper 13 was fast and first right above the forest to give you a look at all those beautiful decorations you see there. And of course, while we were there, we got an exclusive interview with Father Christmas himself after he arrived in style in a chopper. Santa had this message for all the kids watching Channel 13 at home.
Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year.
An upgrade to the chopper from the sleigh there, I guess. Well, the Magical Forest is open every night through December 31st, except for Christmas. General admission is $12 for adults and $10 for children. Looking ahead now, North Las Vegas police are trying to improve safety conditions for people walking on the streets. On Monday, they'll be targeting drivers who fail to yield to pedestrians and also pedestrians who are jaywalking or breaking other traffic laws. Police did not disclose the intersections they will be monitoring. Well, good morning, everyone. Well, coming up after a day of big box stores, time to start shopping small, the local businesses to check out today.
I'm meteorologist Gina Cancelleri. What a great Saturday. Here's a look at your temperature tracker throughout the day. High temperatures mild for this time of year, but we do have a cool down on the way. I'll let you know when that happens, plus some wet weather. That's all ahead after 3.
Look at those lines. Well, if you were crazy enough to head out there, for most of the shoppers in the Valley, Black Friday was a success. At the North Premium Outlets, we saw some pretty long lines, but surprisingly, a lot of the customers we talked to say it was actually less crowded this year. So definitely less of a headache for anyone trying to snag those great deals.
We're going to take that money. We're going to spend it local. We live here in the community too.
Yeah, and today should also be another big day for retailers, but this time we're talking about those small mom and pop shops. It's their turn today. Small Business Saturday has become an important part of the holiday shopping season ever since it was launched to help out business owners who are struggling during the recession. 13 Action News anchor Carla Wade shows you why it's still an important day for a lot of local businesses.
At Darkside Games in Southern Highlands, instead of carols, it's the sound of sales filling the air. With the holiday shopping season fully underway, the cash register filling up as customers take advantage of special deals, choosing this locally owned small business over online shopping or big discount stores.
It is hard to compete sometimes, but we have a really strong local community and they support us.
The Shop Small movement has taken off as the battle for the holiday dollar has become more intense, with online retailers and the deep discounts being offered in major stores. Small Business Saturday encourages customers to support the 30 million small employers that make up the vast majority of U.S. businesses. People who have a vested interest in the community where their customers shop.
We're going to take that money. We're going to spend it local. We live here in the community too. So it's good all around for everyone, I believe.
Sarah Collins is part owner of Main Street Peddlers Antique Mall.
Because when you shop here, you are actually sending our children to school and putting pocket money in their little pockets.
She and other small business owners are just hoping the holiday urge to splurge will last one more day. Carla Wade, 13 Action News.
Hey, got to give the local businesses some love too, right? And for a full list of all those small mom and pop shops across the valley that you can check out today, just visit our website at ktnv.com. You know, sometimes the small mom and pop places have like some cool things you can get for your family that you can't get can't get those at the big stores.
You cannot. And sometimes on this day they also offer little perks.
Yeah.
You know, like you can get a little button or you can get a little bumper sticker, something like that, because that's happened to me last year.
Yeah, and not even just Vegas, Boulder City, a lot of these small towns have those little pop-up shops there.
Yeah,
and,
so I mean it's a good day for everyone.
Yeah.
A good day weather-wise.
And a good day weather-wise if you are heading out shopping, right?
It's a nice day. The wind will pick up later, and you'll see changes from that on Sunday. But for now, we really have some great weather to head outside. Do you want to run? Do you want to hike? Do you want to bike? Go for it. Great weather today, really beautiful day. Here's a look at the allergy forecast as well. Low to moderate for not only today, but Sunday and Monday too, believe it or not. Ragweed and sagebrush, that's what's out and about if you will be out and about as well. So here's a look at weather where you live, what you can expect today. A lot of sunshine with a light breeze throughout the start of the day. Summerlin high temperature 61. Centennial Hills, Aliante expecting high temperature 66 degrees. This is above average for this time of year. We have a mild day in store. 65 degrees for a high temperature in North Las Vegas. Sunrise Manor, same story. Nellis, same thing. 65 degrees with a light breeze to start the day. Then as we move into the end of the day, the wind is going to pick up, coming primarily out of the north. For today, though, Spring Valley 64 for a high, Mountains Edge 65 degrees for a high temperature today. Southern Highlands a little warmer there, 66. Anthem a little cooler, 64 degrees. Spring Valley 65 degrees. If you're headed over to Lake Mead, 66 degrees. We will have a northerly wind start to pick up throughout the latter half of the day. Doesn't cause any advisories, lake wind watches, warnings, nothing. But just so you know, there will be a northerly wind picking up by the end of the day. Henderson, 66 degrees, and Boulder City, just as we mentioned, 65 degrees for high temperature today. If you are headed out tonight to the Glittering Lights, for example, here's a look at your forecast, and there you see the wind picking up. By 6 p.m., northeast 12 miles per hour. Not a big deal. We've seen wind a lot worse, but just so you know, the wind will be out there. 57 degrees at 6 p.m. As we head through 7 o'clock, wind picking up just a little bit. Wind will be sustained about 10 to 15 miles per hour as we move through the evening into the night. 55 degrees at 7 o'clock, as I mentioned, and 8 o'clock, slightly cooler at 54 degrees. So what will the wind do? What's the big change that it's bringing? It's bringing cooler weather as we head into Sunday. Here's a look at your Sunday forecast. 60 degrees for a high. Then as we move through the week, we start to warm up as we head into Wednesday. Then Thursday, big changes on the way. I see potential for rain in the valley, snow in the mountains, windy weather for everyone. That wind will cool us down for a high temperature on Friday, barely making it to 60 degrees, calling it 58 for a high. Tom?
Rain and snow, wow, you heard it here first. Well, when Good Morning Las Vegas returns, 'tis the season for the Nutcracker, but one local performance group is putting on a show with a new Latin twist you can check out this weekend. Well, welcome back. Well, if you're looking for something fun to do with the family to kind of holiday spirit this weekend, how about the Nutcracker? Always a classic, right? Well, joining me now is Paula Jordan with the Jordan Studio. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
And you brought some friends with you too, huh?
Madison, Valeria, and Maria.
And so this is kind of cool. So it's kind of a Latin twist, right, on the Nutcracker.
We are doing a Latin twist this year.
So kind of tell me, how did this come about?
Well, our studio specializes on ballet and salsa, and my husband and I, when we opened the studio and we talked to Miss Luz, who came and brought the Nutcracker to us, we wanted to put a little bit of that twist that we do at the studio for the audience. So we go ahead and made some arrangements to the music and some choreographies, and now we've put a little bit of salsa to the Nutcracker. And
so kind of what does that mean? Like, you know, this is obviously a classic. A lot of people have seen it around the holidays.
Mm-hmm.
So if you've seen the original version, what are some of the twists you might see with this one?
Music arrangements. So what we've done is that we're going to keep the classical music, but we've also arranged some little sounds to give you that little salsa spice.
Okay, so which characters are each of them going to be?
So she's actually playing the principal role, and she's only 16. I've watched her since she was 6 years old, and now she is a full-grown professional, and
awesome.
She will be playing tomorrow at 2 p.m. Today we'll have 2 showings at 12 o'clock and at 6 p.m. as well. And then here we have the Spanish dance.
Oh, okay. All right, well, so we got a couple minutes left, so we want to get right into it. Let's, you got a sample for us today, right?
Yes, we do.
All right, well, let's hear it. Hey, great job, you guys. This is awesome. So this is going to be going on all weekend, right?
Yes.
So you guys are up. So you guys have a busy day ahead of you, right? So
we do. Our first show is today at 12, and then our second one is at 6 p.m. and then tomorrow we have one at 2 p.m. So you can buy tickets at the theater still. Otherwise, you can visit our website jordanstudio.com and at showticksforyou.com. But you have to type in the Latin twist.
All right, we got the details right there on your screen. It's going to be today and tomorrow if you want to check it out over at Palo Verde High School. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys after the break. All right, well, exotic car displays, test drives, and the newest 2019 models. The Motor Trend International Auto Show kicked off yesterday at the Las Vegas Convention Center. I'm such a nerd for this stuff. This year, there are more than 350 of the hottest new cars and trucks. You also have the chance to test drive 25 different vehicles.
So what's really cool about this show is that it truly reinvents itself every year. Manufacturers bring their latest models, all the 2019 models, from all cars, trucks, and SUVs. So there truly is something here for everyone every year.
Pretty fun. And for all you car fanatics, we also have a photo gallery of the different models on our website at ktnv.com. The auto show goes through Sunday. It opens at 9 a.m. and closes at 6 p.m. And there's also some fun activities for the kids too, like driving in mini electric cars. Sounds like fun. Well, dozens of Golden Knights fans spent part of their Black Friday outside the Arsenal over at City National Arena in Summerlin hours before they opened. Everyone wanted to get their hands on a copy of the Vegas Golden Knights official inaugural book. It went on sale yesterday. Check this out. The 144-page book contains a unique augmented reality, that's new, component where the pictures within the book come to life. Now, this lets fans relive some of the most memorable moments from the team's historic and record-setting first season. You can also pick up the book online at vegasteamstore.com. Well, NASA's newest robot lands on Mars on Monday. This will be the first since the Curiosity rover landed on Mars back in 2012. This robot will be investigating what Mars is made of and search for clues about Earth's makeup. And this landing is going to be intense. It'll blast through Mars's atmosphere at 12,300 miles per hour. Wow. And the process will heat that robot to 2,700 degrees as a parachute and rocket slow it down for landing. Well, good morning, Las Vegas. Still ahead this morning, it's a situation no one wants to find themselves in. Firefighters coming to the rescue of a man after he gets stuck on a mountain. You're watching Good Morning Las Vegas. Join us for our next half hour. We'll be right back.
Now, live from Las Vegas, this is 13 Action News, Good Morning Las Vegas.
Right now on Good Morning Las Vegas, a Valley couple left looking for answers after crooks keep on targeting their home. Why they say they just can't live there anymore. Devastation across California from those wildfires, but now Black Friday deals are actually helping some people get back on their feet. Good morning, Las Vegas. I'm Tom George. Want to start things off with 13 First Alert meteorologist Gina Cancellieri. Not pictured the coffee. She was just taking a sip up to the side as we wake up this morning. But
I know. I keep it hidden during my weathercast. I'm focused and concentrating on what a great day we're going to have today. Sunny and mild weather for your Saturday. It really will be a nice day. As we head through the evening, a wind will increase from the north. This will really not change our weather today. It's going to change our weather tomorrow. And what that means is slightly cooler weather as we head into Sunday. But for now, here it is, a beautiful look from the Stratosphere camera. It's just a gorgeous start to what will be a really beautiful day. Mild for today, temperature right now 50 degrees, barely a breeze, the wind speed calm. However, that will change. Once we have these high clouds start coming down into Las Vegas, a cold front will move through, and a cold front is leading edge of colder air. It's not going to happen today, but it's going to happen on Sunday. So here's your 7-day planner. Cooler weather for your Sunday. Then as we head through the upcoming week, there are big changes for Thursday. I'll show you what they are, tell you when they'll get here. That's all coming up within the half hour. Tom?
Thanks, Gina. Well, we want to take a live look at Paris right now, where protesters known as Yellow Jackets are calling for a blockade against rising fuel prices. 2 people were killed in road accidents during the same protest last weekend, and you can see they're turning violent once again. Hundreds of people have been injured, and major roads right now have been paralyzed by those demonstrations. Well, back here in the U.S., things nice and slow on our roads right now, but it's going to be a very different picture tomorrow. That's because AAA says Sunday will likely be the busiest day to be out on the roadways. An estimated 54.3 million people driving out of town Thanksgiving, and most of them will be driving back tomorrow. And if you're flying, that's not going to be any better. Airlines for America says 3 million people will be at our nation's airports. And Metro wants you to be on the lookout for a suspicious man. Investigators say he's been pretending to be a police officer. Witnesses say the man walked up to a shopping center near Sahara and Las Vegas Boulevard and said he was an officer. He also reportedly had a gun. His vehicle was later found near Campbell and Palomino. Police say the motive here is still unclear. Well, a Valley couple tells us they've lived in the same home for 30 years, and in the past month, that home near Desert Inn in Jones has been broken into nearly a dozen times. So we know you're wondering, how's that even possible? That seems like a lot. Well, 13 investigative reporter Joe Bartels shows you no matter what they do, those crooks just seem to keep on coming back.
Like he has countless times over the past 30 years, Ingmar News opens the door to his home, but what's inside is hardly recognizable.
It's just totally devastating, the things we've been through, and not once, not twice.
Ingmar says crooks have broken in 11 times, the thieves taking advantage when Ingmar and his wife traveled to California around Halloween. They returned home to a mess, so much so they were forced to live with their daughter, Kathy.
It's been our home for 30 years, and to have it come in and just destroy it, as my mom said to me the other day, she goes, "They have destroyed my home."
With the home absolutely unlivable, crooks keep coming back apparently. Windows have been broken, the front door kicked in, the back door busted.
They've targeted things, they know, what they left behind, and I think they said, okay, we can come back later and get that.
Priceless items like his World War II medals have been stolen, and the News say they are hopeful but doubtful they will get all of their stuff back.
We have no idea at this point what's missing, other than we know all of Kathy's jewelry and her charm bracelet and things like that. My wife's, all of her jewelry is gone, an expensive diamond emerald ring, and all of her nice jewelry, necklaces and things.
Police were able to lift fingerprints and DNA from the home. The News say they've given police some leads too, including some parole and probation paperwork that includes a name and date of birth they found in a suspicious car parked in their driveway.
I think it's that feeling of being violated, that there's no regard for the fact that this is somebody's home and their possessions, and a lifetime of memories and possessions are just tossed, walked on, destroyed. And it's heartbreaking.
Yeah, such a frustrating situation. That was Joe Bartels reporting. Once they get everything sorted out, the couple does plan to sell their home and walk away from that lifetime of memories there. And so many people have lost everything they own to those wildfires in California and hope to take advantage of Black Friday deals to help get their lives started once again. One woman completely rebuilding a closet for a family that's been staying with her.
They just came with the clothes on their back and that's it.
And some stores are actually pitching in to help. The manager of this Macy's is offering disaster assistance vouchers. They're giving an extra 30% off to anyone who has an address within the fire zones. And one Arizona man thankful to be safe. His Thanksgiving got off to a pretty rocky start when his pre-feast hike ended with a rescue. 50-year-old Johnny Moto slipped and got sandwiched in between two boulders on South Mountain. He was stuck there for almost an hour. Phoenix firefighters trekking up the mountain to help. They were able to lift him out, and Moto was able to walk back down the mountain.
I kept slipping down in, and I felt like a snake was constricting around my chest, and it was getting harder and harder to breathe. It's a good day to be thankful, and I'm thankful.
Gosh, talk about a Thanksgiving story there. Well, Moto had a heart transplant 5 years ago, and he wanted to prove he could still hike that trail. Well, glad he's okay. Well, Samsung has apologized, and they decided to settle with workers who got really sick in some of their factories overseas. The company says it failed to manage the health risks for people working at their semiconductor and their LCD factories. People who worked there had a lot of health issues. We're talking about cancer, multiple sclerosis, and even miscarriages. Some workers say this was such a toxic situation that even their children got sick. These factories are mostly in South Korea. Well, a couple in Louisiana getting quite the surprise Thanksgiving morning. Check this out. Caught on camera, a stolen car crashes into their garage. Look at that. They were home when a Dodge Charger crashed backwards into the structure. The homeowner says his wife told the driver they called 911, so that's when he started running. That driver was eventually arrested. Well, happening today, Santa stopping by the Boulevard Mall. This year, they're calling it their Safe Santa Arrival. Right now can obviously be a dangerous time of year out on our roadways, so to help families, law enforcement is teaming up with businesses to talk about safety. All of this will be happening between 1 o'clock and 3:30 today at the mall's food court. Well, straight ahead, former volunteers revealing an unflattering picture of one of Southern Nevada's most popular no-kill shelters. Why they say those animals deserve better.
I'm meteorologist Gina Cancelleri. We have a nice Saturday in store. It's sunny. A cold front will move through, bringing down a northerly wind that will change everything for Sunday. I'll let you know the details coming up after the break.
All right, well, what do you do with a pumpkin so big that it barely fits into a pickup truck? For one man in California, the answer is rack up some miles with it, right? John Berendez is driving around with this gigantic pumpkin. It weighs about 1,300 pounds. It's called Big Bertha. Look at that thing go.
It's pretty, the way it's painted.
Funny story, actually. When I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, there was a local nursery where I was growing up in Maryland. They had to guess the weight of the pumpkin contest, and I came within like 3 pounds, won the contest.
Did you win the pumpkin?
We won the pumpkin and bought a tree that's actually still in front of my parents' house there.
Oh, you planted it?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, that's a nice story.
So I used to have a talent for guessing the weight, but I wouldn't have guessed that one right. That thing was huge.
No, and it was really, do you have painting skills? Because it was very pretty too.
I don't, but maybe, do you?
Maybe.
There's a humble brag over here.
No, I really don't.
Maybe.
I use a computer to do all of my graphics, and you will see it here momentarily. So let's get to the weather, show you what I can do. This is my palette right here, and this is what I paint. Today's planner, 9 a.m. temperature 54 degrees. As we move through noon, 62. Then we'll hit our high temperature around 2:30, 3 o'clock, 66 degrees expected at that time with a lot of sunshine. 6 p.m., 60 degrees, continued clear, maybe a few high-level clouds around, and that's it for today. Here's a look at the futurecast. It's pretty great. It gives you an idea as to what you can expect as we move through the upcoming week. So on Sunday, we're going to have a cold front move through. It's barely going to be noticeable. You may notice a breeze about 10 miles per hour. That's it. And a few high-level clouds coming down. So this is the picture here tomorrow at 2 o'clock. Slightly cooler tomorrow as well with that northerly breeze bringing down the cooler air. Then as we head through the upcoming week, everything sort of clears out. We become mild again for Monday and Tuesday. No big deal. As we move into Wednesday, a storm approaches from the west. It's going to bring in clouds. It's also going to allow for the wind to pick up significantly. We're talking about 20-mile-per-hour winds, gusting higher at times. As we move through Thursday, I really think this time around with this storm, we will see some rain in the valley, some snow in higher elevations. Rain is indicated by the green here. Snow is indicated by the purples and the pinks in the higher elevations. We may have a light accumulation as well, which is good news as we move into December. All right, then as we head into Friday, everything should start to clear out a little bit and we should start to have cooler weather move in. Oh yeah, high temperatures only in the 50s as we move into Friday once that storm blows through. Then as we head into the upcoming weekend, maybe a few clouds around, but the major weather systems will be over with. The biggest one we're talking about is on Thursday. We have a baby one moving in today that's going to bring us cooler weather for Sunday. So here's a look at your 7-day planner. It paints everything out for you. Slightly cooler tomorrow, a nice mild day today, and then there it is on Thursday, windy with wet weather in the forecast, cooling us down for Friday. Tom?
Sounds good. Thanks, Gina. Well, a leaking roof, sewage hoses running through kennels, and a mauling so severe a woman nearly lost her foot. Those are just some of the issues that have been plaguing Southern Nevada's best-known no-kill animal shelter. Chief Investigator Darcy Spears talks with former volunteers at the Nevada SPCA who say those animals deserve better.
There's one face you won't see on Joanne Phillips' poster of shelter dogs she cares for.
She could have died. There was 1 inch of flesh holding her ankle onto her leg.
Stanley was on the Adoptable Dogs page for the Nevada Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals on the day he attacked Joanne.
I mean, what if that dog was adopted out to a family of young children?
We're talking to Jim Phillips because his wife is still too traumatized to recount the events of April 11th. Joanne had been a volunteer at the NSPCA shelter on Dewey Drive for about a year.
Her job was actually to take the dogs from the kennel and you give it to a person who walks the dogs. And as she was doing that, this dog just mauled her.
Jim says they've since learned that Stanley was in trouble before.
It was adopted out, but was returned because it had attacked the owner.
We take pride in having a
NSPCA President Kathy Jung would not answer questions about the attack, citing potential litigation.
So it was truly a terrible accident.
She says they're in the process of hiring a trainer and making other unspecified changes.
We do have volunteer policies and procedures that we've put in place. We went back and revisited everything.
But other former volunteers say the dog that attacked Joanne is just one egregious example.
Something has to be done.
Of a whole host of problems.
I was going once a week, every Sunday for 2 years, and leaving every week crying. And I couldn't decide if I had done something good or contributed to something horrible that day.
So the sewage water will then come out.
Brittany Markarian and Chelsea Collins are among 7 former volunteers who reached out to us.
During the time I was there, management was unapproachable.
Brittany volunteered at the NSPCA from May 2015 to March 2017. Her Change.org petition demanding reform has more than 1,600 signatures so far. One of the main concerns?
The building that they're in is very dilapidated and outdated.
Chelsea volunteered there from April 2015 until the beginning of September 2018. The NSPCA says she was dismissed for verbally abusing a prior executive director. Pictures she took during her time at NSPCA document major roof leaks breaking through and soaking kennels, swamp coolers and fans in place of proper air conditioning, and dogs not always having clean water to drink.
Because it might have had algae around the surface or dead bugs or feces in there.
Animal Control has documented a long history of problems with the shelter. Going back to July 2014, records show overcrowding, hot temperatures, and pigeons causing contamination. In January of this year, flooding in kennels and roof damage, which Jung says they fixed in May with a full roof repair.
So it certainly sat like that for quite some time, according to the county's records.
Well, we've had people come in and patch it and do it and fix different holes here and there.
We asked to see the fix for ourselves.
We're outside in the courtyard here because behind that door are the kennels. That door is closed to us and our cameras. We are not being allowed inside to show you the conditions, but they tell us it's not for the reasons you might think.
Kathy claims insurance and new shelter policies require us to become full-fledged volunteers, complete with training, just to look inside the dog kennels.
Everybody needs to be educated no matter where you go.
Even just to walk down a hall.
Yes.
That means we could not verify whether they actually fixed the things volunteers say they saw, like this missing cinder block allowing one dog to stick its head through into another kennel. Kathy did send us photos of the fixed wall and roof, but we know one of the biggest issues remains.
Well, there's some drains in the back kennels that aren't working.
Chelsea and Brittany say they saw dogs standing in sewage, their paws covered in feces. The wastewater from cleaning pumped out with hoses that run through the dogs' cages.
The ditch area where the water is pushed into in the back, in the exterior part of the kennels, as far as I've always seen, always filled with sewage water.
As it was when we walked behind the kennels with Kathy.
There are drains in some of the kennels, and again, some of them do work. However, in the other kennels that don't, we just have to make sure that the dogs aren't in standing water. We did get the health district to come take a look at this, and they were fine with the way that we're doing it.
Okay. You don't want to keep doing it that way with the new
facility,
facility,
not.
right?
Oh my gosh, no. Oh my gosh, no.
The new facility has been a promise that's remained unfulfilled for years as the shelter continues to deteriorate.
When the final plans came out and for us to sign off on them.
Which was when?
Which was probably last year. We took a look at them and realized this is not the future for the NSPCA.
So who screwed up?
Well, it could be anyway. It could be the blueprint person. It could be the architect.
Kathy says they've got the money to build and are just waiting for a redesign. Meanwhile, she's focusing on some of the shelter's veterinary success stories and rising adoption numbers.
They're trying to save as many animals as they can, and you have to respect that. However, it's about quality. It's about quality of life.
Darcy Spears, 13 Action News.
Thanks, Darcy, and we'll be right back with a final check of your first alert forecast. You're watching 13 Action News, where you get breaking news fast and first. Stay with us.
Saturday in store. Beautiful weather. Temperature right now 50 degrees, maybe a high level cloud, and that's about it. As we move through the day today, high temperature 66 with a lot of sunshine, mild for this time of year. Here's a look at a temperature tracker. We have a cold front moving through, dropping our temperature tomorrow to 60 degrees. Then Tom, guess what?
Snow.
We have some weather, yes, as we move into Thursday. The valley's not going to see the snow. The mountains will. The valley will see rain, possibly, wind for sure, and lots of clouds for Thursday. High temperature on Friday, just 58 degrees. Get your coats.
Get the coats. Thanks for making us a part of your day. We're always on at ktv.com. Thanks for watching, everyone.